Unlock your dream property with Meeks Realty Group, where Rich the Realtor makes real estate dreams a reality. Whether it's residential or commercial, we've got Charleston to Huntington covered. Your key to exceptional real estate experiences start here. Meeks Realty Group. Contact us at meeks.us.
The views and opinions expressed on this program do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of 580 WCHS, its employees, or WVRC Media. From the studios of WVRC Media, the country, the United States of America, the state, West Virginia, the city, Charleston. This is the Dave Allen Show on 580 Live. And your host.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
He's kind of a big deal.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
Dave Allen.
Good Thursday morning to you, folks. The A-Train, Anthony Harmon, is our producer today. Welcome to the show. Biggly, Piggly, Wiggly, hotline 304-345-5858. Tony the Taylor, text 304-935-5008. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live is brought to you by Thornhill Auto Group, including Thornhill Ford Lincoln on the Thornhill Motor Mile, US 119 in Chabonville. Drive home in a new 2024 Ford Escape, 2.9% APR for up to 72 months, plus a $1,000 trade assist rebate. You must qualify for all offers through Ford Financial. See Thornhill for all the details. Phone calls to the show, of course, the service of Biggly, Piggly, Wiggly on Spring Street in Charleston. Texting services provided by West Virginia's finest men's store, Tony the Taylor, Virginia Street in Charleston. Visit bestmastertailor.com. Of course, Tony's getting ready for the big Tony the Taylor Summer Jam happening this Saturday night at the Red Carpet Pavilion with guitar legend Gary Hoey and special guest the Amos Steel Company. You definitely don't want to miss that. And we do the show from the Par-Mar Store studio. If there's not a Par-Mar store near you now, there will be soon. Par-Mar, the stations of WVRC Media Charleston. We are taking over A to Z Outlet in St. Albans for the Great Gas Giveaway this Saturday starting at 10 a.m. We're going to give away 500 gallons of free gasoline, courtesy of all of our stations here in the building, the Par-Mar stores. And if there's not a Par-Mar store near you now, there will be soon. All right, coming up on the show this morning, of course, the president spoke last night, his first address since announcing last Sunday that he would be leaving the presidential race. We'll get into that a little bit later on. Something that I know Hoppy's going to get into a little bit later on, some kind of big news out of the world of elections and voter registrations and things of that nature. 2 counties in West Virginia that have been for probably ever, maybe longer, that have been Democrat counties are now Republican counties. And I'm sitting in one of those. Kanawha County has officially flipped Republican. And so Hoppy's going to get into that next hour. I'm going to talk a little bit about that. Also, Fayette County is in that as well. So 2 of the counties that forever seems were Democratic strongholds. Maybe not so much anymore. The numbers are in, and I'll talk about it. Hoppy will talk about it in detail, of course, coming up next hour. Also, speaking of elections, West Virginia Secretary of State Mac Warner is going to be stopping by. There is a big need for poll workers for the upcoming election. We'll talk to Secretary Warner about that, and it is one of West Virginia's longest outdoor dramas. It's called the Aracoma Story, and it's going to be starting soon at Chief Logan State Park, my home area, only a little over an hour's drive or so from downtown Charleston. We're going to talk to 2 members of the cast about that. Plus, as always, your calls and texts are welcome. Again, Biggly, Piggly, Wiggly, hotline 304-345-5858. Tony the Taylor, text 304-935-5008. Our good friend, Dr. Casey Sacks from BridgeValley joins us. Dr. Sacks, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, Dave. Great to be with you.
Thank you for being here. And welcome back. You were off for a little bit celebrating a milestone in your life, a little thing called a marriage. So congratulations.
Thank you so much.
All right. So welcome to married life.
Well, I appreciate it.
Now you're part of the club. All right. So let me start by asking, when do we start classes at BridgeValley, or do they ever really end?
They really never end. We have summer school running right now, lots of students on campus, but the fall semester starts August 19th.
And you got a new student orientation, I guess, coming up with that?
We do. We've been running several. Last Saturday, we had 150 students come in. So it's folks who are already registered or who need some help from advising to get registered, and they come in and spend some time figuring out, where are my classes, where is everything, who do I need to talk to. If they still need financial aid help, they get their financial aid help. It's sort of a prepackaged experience, and we're starting to run them now for high school students because of the WIN Academy. So that part is new for us. We've always done new student orientation for our traditional college students, but now we have enough high school students who are joining us at the WIN Academy that we are starting to run special orientations for them too.
Now, explain what the WIN Academy is. You talked about it in the past, but if somebody's tuning in for the first time, what is the WIN Academy?
So the WIN Academy is a high school at BridgeValley that allows students to do college while they're still in high school. So if you were a high school student and you were interested in nursing, you would come to us and we would enroll you in any pre-nursing courses and then in nursing courses with the goal of getting you towards finishing your RN as close to high school graduation as possible. So for most of our students who graduated last year, it means they'll only have 1 year of college left to go, and then they'll be sitting for the state NCLEX, which is our state
that's amazing to
nursing
me.
exam.
That's amazing to me.
It's saving families tens of thousands of dollars. It's really a great experience if it's right for your student.
All right. Next month, and we could talk about it as we get a little bit closer. We'll have you on a couple times next month as well. But next month, August the 26th, you're going to be doing a student employment fair. Tell us about that.
We are. So it turns out we have some incredible experiences and opportunities for students to have jobs while they're students. So one of those is Learn and Earn. We've talked about that before. It's where companies partner with us and they come in and say, hey, I'm Moses Automotive and I need an accountant. And so let's try and get a student out of the accounting program and put them into one of our stores so that they can get experience as an accountant. And then when they graduate from BridgeValley, our hope is that that business decides to hire the student. So we have so many of those opportunities that we're doing a dedicated fair for our students to try and get them connected to employers who have said, we really want to hire BridgeValley students.
I mean, these things that you do, Dr. Sacks, with the community and with the business leaders. I mean, I think it's truly groundbreaking, and I think more and more institutions of higher learning could probably learn from what you are doing and what your college is doing.
We hope so. I think it's a great way to get our community involved, and it's wonderful for our students because our goal is that they end up with jobs right here in the Kanawha Valley.
And again, it's all about trying to keep those folks here.
Right. We're proud of the fact that almost 9 out of 10 of our graduates stay right here in West Virginia. That's a phenomenal number that any of our local colleges would be very envious of. So we'd love it to be 10 out of 10. It just means we need to help employers better connect to our students so that they see those jobs that exist in the region.
Talking to Dr. Casey Sacks of BridgeValley, the Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you in part by Jute for the best in security systems for both your home or business. Talk to Jute, J-O-O-T, of Tays Valley. Visit protectedbyjute.com. Let's talk FAFSA. FAFSA Fridays continues.
Yeah. So nationally, students still are down in terms of the number of folks who have filled out their free application for federal student aid, or the FAFSA. But we've set up FAFSA Fridays for people to be able to come in and get help. It's a complicated federal form. It's like doing your taxes if you've never done them before. You need a little bit of help. And so we've dedicated staff time any day you're welcome to come in and get help with FAFSA, but we specifically have said on Friday to make sure that we're staffed up so that people can come in and get that support that they may need so that they can fill out the form to come to school. And
the forms can be quite complicated, especially if you're not used to filling out those type of forms.
Yeah, it's a federal form, and so it just
well, I mean, nobody ever said the government was going to make it easy, right?
Right, and we really want it to be as easy as possible, so we're trying to do everything we can to support people so that they can come to school.
And what are the hours for your for FAFSA Friday again?
They're safest if they come in sometime between 9 and 4.
Okay, anytime during what we would call be regular hours on Friday. This is something that you offer for anybody that wants to come in to get more information about it.
Yeah, actually, one of our county commissioners texted and said, one of my nieces is going to WVU, but could they come to FAFSA Friday at BridgeValley anyway? And we said, absolutely, come on over.
And that was going to be my next question is if somebody's going somewhere else to WVU or Marshall or wherever, it doesn't matter. You can still help them with these programs.
We're happy to help them. And those same students, it turns out, come to us for their summer school. When they're struggling in anatomy and physiology and microbiology, they usually come home and take it from BridgeValley in the summer.
And that's, again, I talked about the relationships that BridgeValley has with the community, but this is also a big thing that you do. You have relationships and great relationships with other institutions of higher learning throughout the state.
We do. One partnership that I'm so proud of, it's the first of its kind in West Virginia, is that we have a 3+1 agreement with WVU in nursing. So it means that students can take 3 years of nursing at BridgeValley and do 1 year of nursing at WVU and be finished with their BSN, their bachelor's degree in nursing. It's a phenomenal partnership with WVU. They've been really great at saying, how do we get more students through this pipeline? And it's wonderful for our students. It means they don't even have to move out of this Kanawha Valley community. They can stay right here and finish that degree.
And lastly, I understand that you have plans for a golf tournament coming up this fall. And I know we've got some time to work on that and to talk about it, but I know a lot of my friends and a lot of folks that listen to the show are avid golfers, and they're always looking for an opportunity to hit the links, if we can do some good for the community, so be it. But we're out there to have fun at a golf tournament. Talk about the golf tournament.
So that's exactly it. We're hoping that more people get engaged and see that this is really valuable way to help support our students. But it's October 21st. And the idea is, so we got a federal grant that allows us to take money and put it towards our Student Opportunity Fund. So that helps pay for students who are a flat tire away from dropping out of school. We saw that was a real need in the community. We've got great financial aid, but we want to make sure we support students however we can. And so the golf tournament is to come up with the match that's required to draw down those federal funds. So you'll double the investment at BridgeValley, and all of the money goes directly to help support students who live right here in the Valley who just need a little bit of extra help.
And where's the tournament going to be held?
That's such a good question. I don't remember.
Well, we'll have more information between now and then. I mean, you got several golf courses in the area it could be held at. So tune in next month to find out where the golf tournament is. Maybe you should just have it on the campus of BridgeValley, just to have it up there. Speaking of which, I heard you and Steve Animal talking in the green room there, and I've asked you repeatedly not to have contact with Steve Animal. But he was talking about something that he has done for a number of years up there. And again, we got time to talk about it between now and then. That's your big pumpkin drop. Yes, in October. It's wonderful. High school and middle school teachers from all over the region put together teams of students who build an apparatus that's supposed to protect a pumpkin. And then AEP and the Power Park, it's a big collaborative. So AEP brings in their bucket trucks and they drop these pumpkins from way up in the air in the Power Park, and Steve's our MC. And so we see which of the pumpkins make it, and we give students trophies and scholarships. It's really a fun event. All right. And again, we got plenty of time to talk about that, plus to talk about where the golf tournament's going to be, too. I'll know next time. I have a feeling that I'm going to find out in the next 10 minutes, because when you leave, you're probably going to text me and say, get this on the air. Dr. Casey Sacks of BridgeValley, give us the website. It's bridgevalley.edu. All right. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks a lot. Thank you so much. It is 9:19, the Dave Allen Show and 580 Live, brought to you by Brightway Insurance, the Mays agency. They now offer small business insurance to the 4 major carriers, the Hartford, Travelers, Progressive, and Next. Call or stop by and see John and Sherry Mays today. 3860 Tays Valley Road, Suite 1 in Hurricane, 304-814-2509, or visit brightwaymays.com. Biggly Piggly Wiggly hotline, 304-345-5858. Tony the Taylor text, 304-935-5008. We need some poll workers in West Virginia. West Virginia Secretary of State Mac Warner standing by. We'll talk to him after the break. Back after this on the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
Brought to you by the Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses. Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses want to thank you for supporting local small businesses.
Red, white, and vroom. Gear up for incredible savings at Thornhill Ford Lincoln on the Thornhill Motor Mile. Hey, it's Sydney, and right now at Thornhill, you can drive home a new 2024 Ford Escape with 2.9% APR for up to 72 months. Plus $1,000 trade assist rebate. Shop online anytime at thornhillford.net or visit us on US 119 in Chapmanville. Discover why Thornhill Ford Lincoln is your ultimate destination for unbeatable deals and exceptional service on the road to total savings. Must qualify for all offers through Ford Financial. See Thornhill for all details.
Looking to buy or sell U.S. coins or currency, or need an appraisal on a coin collection? The Coin Man in St. Albans has been established since 2009, and he's the area's expert in currency. Whether you're buying or selling coins and coin accessories, he's got you covered. But that's not all. He also deals in select antiques and glassware. Visit the Coin Man today at 2412 Kanawha Terrace in St. Albans and discover treasures that transcend time. The Coin Man, where every coin tells a story.
The Hudson's Pizza July Special. Order any regular priced large 18-inch pizza and receive a free 2-liter bottle of Pepsi. Visit your nearest Hudson's for dine-in, pickup, or delivery. Order now at Hudson'sPizza.com.
According to USA Today, 1 in 7 children in West Virginia face food insecurity issues. Hi, I'm Jason Quintrell, President and CEO of Union Mission Ministries. There are some obstacles our children face with access to food despite many feeding programs available. That is why Union Mission has partnered with some local middle schools to place food directly into the hands of children who need it. Help us remove those obstacles and help feed our kids. Visit unionmission.com to learn more.
In the aftermath of a serious car wreck, Peyton Law Firm stands ready to be your beacon of hope. With unwavering dedication, Peyton Law Firm will navigate the complexities of your case, fighting for justice and the compensation you deserve. From debilitating injuries to emotional trauma, Peyton Law Firm understands the toll it takes. Our attorneys have more than 60 years combined experience handling injury cases. Call Peyton Law Firm for a free consultation at 755-5556 or online at peytonlawfirm.com.
Join Chris Lawrence for Outdoors Today during the morning news on 580 WCHS. Discover captivating stories from the outdoors and tips for outdoor enthusiasts. Tune in weekdays and experience the beauty of nature through the lens of Chris Lawrence.
1, 2, 3, 4.
923, the Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you in part by Live Healthy West Virginia, presented by WVU Medicine. Live Healthy tackles pressing health issues, heart disease, diabetes, Alzheimer's, and RSV. It's a podcast offering insights into medical breakthroughs and preventative care, featuring WVU Medicine's expert physicians, aimed at fostering and also just fostering healthier lifestyles in and beyond West Virginia. It's a valuable resource for all. Discover the latest episodes on WVMetronews.com under the podcast menu and start your journey towards better health today. Biggly Piggly Wiggly hotline 304-345-5858. Tony the Taylor text 304-935-5008. West Virginia Secretary of State Mac Warner will be up with us here momentarily, I understand. Text says, so basically, let's get this straight. President Biden held only the fourth Oval Office address behind the resolute desks, informing the nation of absolutely nothing. It was a complete waste of time. Basically, he said, vote for Harris, not Trump. He's a bad guy. What a joke. I watched the president's address last night, as did many of you. And, of course, we carried it here live on the air. I didn't time it, 15, maybe 20 minutes, something like that, maybe. And let me just say this, and I will say, despite let's see, how can I say this? No matter how you feel about President Biden, I think that if you watch the address that President Biden gave to the nation last night, this, of course, coming on the heels of his stepping out of the race, which was announced this past weekend, I think that the president probably made the right decision in stepping out of the race. Now, the question can always be asked, did he make that decision or was the decision made for him? And no one's going to really know what went on behind closed doors. I was watching some of the pundits last night. I kind of flip around. If I'm watching it during the night, I will flip around between, everything from 11 minutes. Somebody said, just text me, said his address was 11 minutes. Thank you very much. I watch, anytime that there's something like that going on, I'll flip around between CNN, Fox News, News Nation, MSNBC, whatever, just to kind of get the different takes on the particular address. And I will say, as I said, it was not a strong speech, or by any stretch of the imagination. He was in a controlled environment, sitting behind a desk, reading from a teleprompter. And I think that if anybody, and I'm going to say this, and I'm trying to sound as nicely as possible as I can about it, if anybody wondered if the president, as I said at the top of the segment, the president made the right decision in stepping aside or being forced aside or whatever, I would say that based on that speech, that 11-minute, according to a texter, thank you very much, the 11-minute speech, I think the correct decision was made. Because in my opinion, and I'm not an expert on this by any stretch of the imagination, but I think that the President Biden has gone downhill drastically in the last couple of years, particularly within the last year. And it was exposed at the debate. And honestly, I mean, Donald Trump in that debate didn't have to do a whole heck of a lot. He basically just kind of stood back, and I actually saw a clip yesterday. I was flipping through the channels and saw a clip from the debate, and I noticed this the night I watched the debate. Just looking at the expression on former President Trump's face as he was watching Joe Biden speak during the debate, and he just kind of had this look on his face that was just kind of like, yeah, go ahead and keep talking because you're really hurting yourself. And he was. And I think, again, my opinion, I think that the proper decision was made in the president stepping by. And I think that that speech last night, I think really bared that out. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you part by Pinnacle Consultants. Their lead paint inspection and risk assessment services are designed to identify and to assess the presence of lead-based paint in buildings and other structures using a 3-phase approach of inspection, sampling, and lab analysis, and an assessment report. Visit pinnaclecorp.net because what you don't know can hurt you. Let's bring in West Virginia Secretary of State Mac Warner. Secretary, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Hey, Dave. Good to be with you, and I'm glad you're talking politics.
That's what I do from time to time when I'm not trying to get a dog adopted or whatever else I'm talking about. Sir, we've talked about it on the show in the past, and that is the need for poll workers in West Virginia. Still a few months away from the general election, but now is the time for the county clerks to start getting their list together to work the polls. Talk about it.
You're absolutely correct. And next week is National Poll Worker Recruitment Day. The nation is thinking ahead of time, and that is to get these names of people who are interested into the county clerk so that they can then set up the proper training to get them trained. And so next week is National Poll Worker Recruiting Day. I'm glad you're talking about it because if there's anybody who's interested in being a poll worker who's listening to this show, now's a great time. There's all this enthusiasm after the Republican convention, the Democrat convention coming up, the excitement with Harris and Biden, and then the assassination on Trump. That's brought a lot of attention early on to this whole election season. So if you want to be a poll worker, I encourage you to talk to your county party chair, Republican or Democrat chair. That's the best way because they submit a list to the county clerks. Or you can shortchange that. You can go directly to your county clerk, and you can also come to the West Virginia Secretary of State's website and enter your information, and we will pass it to the county clerk. So real easy to do. I think you may have mentioned you get paid to do this.
Yeah, I want to talk about the money. Let's talk about the money, Secretary. I mean, I know it varies from county to county, but on average, what can you make being a poll worker?
Well, there's the training. It's about 2 hours of training, and you get paid anywhere from $35 to $50, depending on the county. And then on election day, now it's a long day, but you can get paid anywhere between $250 to $300. So especially for a young person, we're encouraging young people to register to be poll workers. That's a fair amount of money. It's a long day, but it's a fair payment compensation. The real reward is in being a part of this democratic process, but it is nice to have some pocket change to run around with after serving a good long day.
Well, and as I said, and again, we're talking with West Virginia Secretary of State Mac Warner. As you said, it is a long day. I mean, polls are open from 6:30 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. Most poll workers arrive around 5:30. But with the electronic voting systems and whatnot, they're normally out the door by, and it varies again, by 8 or 8:30, they're usually done. And yeah, it's well over a 12-hour day, but it ain't exactly, as I used to tell people, it's not exactly like you're digging ditches, I mean, it's not that you're not working, don't get me wrong, and it can be kind of hectic, especially when people all come in, at one time. But, there's a little downtime too, and that's not bad money for young people. And that's what I think that there really needs to be a emphasis, and I know your office does this, on trying to get more young people involved. I mean, I don't know what the statistics show, but when I was doing that sort of thing and you're out and you're visiting polling places, the average poll worker probably had a few years on them. And that's not a bad thing, don't get me wrong, but eventually they are going to just get tired and say, it's time for somebody else to take over.
Well, I like to cite or give a shout out to Barber County. Barber County took it to heart when we went up there, and you're aware of our Jennings Randolph Award. That's, under Senator Jennings Randolph from West Virginia, who got 18-year-olds the right to vote with the 26th Amendment. Well, the people that do that at the high schools in Barber County took it to heart and encouraged people then to become poll workers. In the primary in May, they had 12 high school students who came in and worked the polls, and it just brought a breath of fresh air into the system. So you have those trained workers that you talked about, some of the senior citizens, working with the young folks. And the beauty of this is once they become a poll worker one time, they see how much fun it is, how you get to know people who from the community. Typically, they bring in a potluck. They bring in chili or hot dogs or pizza and that sort of thing. So it's kind of a community affair. And people just have a good time with it. And now we're building that bench for future years of poll workers down the line. And it gets them involved in the political process, and it lets them know how secure the elections are so they can spread that word in the community. It just tamps down all this conspiracy theory talk that goes around. So we've got great elections, secure elections in West Virginia, and that's what this whole conversation is about, is be a part of it, be a poll worker.
And I've said this in the past, you mentioned the food, that poll workers, it may be a long day, but they're not going to starve to death. Because in my when I worked in the office, sir, when you went around to the poll, every polling place had something to eat. So you're definitely not going to starve to death.
I knew I would get you started when I mentioned food, Dave.
All right, come on now. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, presented by General Hardware of Winfield and Milton, General Lumber of Winfield. For all projects, big and small, shop locally. Visit generalhardwarewv.com. And do you need, I'm presuming you do, you need workers for early voting too, right?
We do. So right now is a good time just to get into the system. The clerks will then give you notification as to when the training is. You do get paid that $35 to $50 for the training, just a 2-hour training session. And then they'll let you know whether you're going to be called up for Election Day. So now it's never too early to sign up to be a poll worker. Next week is National Poll Worker Recruiting Day. That's why we're talking about it now. And then you can do it anytime up until, well, basically the election, but you need to have that training. So there's going to be another push in September to get people to sign up as we head right into that very vital election period.
We had a text to the show here, sir. Can an independent be a poll worker?
They sure can. What the law requires is poll workers from differing parties. It doesn't necessarily have to be Republican, Democrat. That's what it typically is because those are the largest parties. But yes, an independent certainly can be. And so I encourage anybody to register to vote or to register to be a poll worker.
And this is something, too, that we saw the last couple of years that you got groups involved. You know, you reached out to, and I don't know if this is still the case, but at one point, if you were a realtor, for example, you could get continuing education points for being a poll worker. At one time, that was the case.
Absolutely. The realtors stepped up, I think, back in the 2020 election, and it was very productive. We encourage business owners. We've done that. We've encouraged veterans. We encourage young people. So, yes, we're reaching out to different groups because each one of them, as we get to them, it's like, oh, yeah, the light bulb comes on. Why wouldn't a business owner want to be a poll worker? Why wouldn't a veteran? You know, the veterans raise their hand to serve their country. At one point, why not do it now and become a poll worker? And it's those people, when you go in to vote and you see them, and you see it's a local business owner, it's a veteran, it's a church leader, a realtor, there's a comfort level. You know things are being done right, that those aren't people that are going to do something nefarious. And so we've really changed the image in West Virginia. We're now leading the nation in election integrity and security. Every person who has a cell phone is an extension of our investigative office. If you see nefarious activity, you see somebody buying a vote or twisting an arm to get somebody to vote, take a picture of her and send it in. It's our See Something, Text Something program. And again, West Virginia is leading the nation with that. And the idea is not so much to catch somebody, it's to deter it from happening in the first place. If everybody knows, hey, somebody with a cell phone could be taking a picture of me out here behind the car trying to buy a vote, they could be reported. So with our investigators all across the state, we can have an investigator on site anywhere in the state in about an hour and stop any activity that may be happening or make sure things are being done correctly. So there's just a lot good going on here in West Virginia, and if we can just get the poll workers, we always seem to pull it out at the last minute, make sure we've never had the real poll worker shortage, but it's nice to have those alternates on deck. We had one election where a pregnant woman gave birth the night before the election, so we had to get a substitute in there. So that's just an extreme example of why we need some alternates, and it's good to have a good list of people already trained, ready to step in.
Well, and sir, it makes people like Vera McCormick and Brian Wood sleep a whole lot easier at night knowing that they already have the poll workers in place. Where's the best place for people, again, to get information to sign up to be a poll worker? I know you mentioned the county clerks, but you can also go to the Secretary of State website.
Yes, the Secretary website is govotewv.com, and so you can there's a link there that says become a poll worker, and you click on that, and it's very easy, very user-friendly. You go directly to the county clerk, or you can go through your party. If you know your party chair there, the county chair, go to them, because they submit a list to the clerks. That's the best way. That's how you get the people from differing parties. Is the Republicans submit a list, the Democrats submit a list. If there's an independent Green Party or any other affiliated party, they submit a list to the county clerk, and then the county clerk picks the number of poll workers they need depending on the precinct locations and so on.
All right, Secretary, I appreciate you joining us. Good luck, and we'll have you on, of course, a couple times before the election. We still got a few months. We're just in July right now, but I know that you're trying to get everything all squared away. I appreciate you being here. We'll talk soon. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Dave. Good being with you.
Thank you, Secretary of State Mac Warner. Go be a poll worker, folks. Good money. Well, number one, there's good money, and I always look at the money. I always look at the money and the food. That's what I look at. But there's a whole lot to it, more than just that. So reach out to your county chairs. Reach out to your Secretary of State's office. Reach out to your county clerk. Say, I want to be a poll worker. Again, not bad money at all. West Virginia Enriched in collaboration with Huntington invites you to witness the transformative power of Special Olympics. Take a few minutes to be inspired and to join the collective effort in making a difference. Not just a story, it's a movement of hope, inclusivity, and triumph, reminding us all that every individual deserves a chance to shine in West Virginia and beyond. Huntington truly making a difference right here at home. See a video highlighting the Special Olympics at facebook.com/580WCHS. Biggly Piggly Wiggly hotline 304-345-5858. Tony the Taylor text 304-935-5008. It is one of the longest running outdoor dramas in the history of outdoor dramas in West Virginia. It's called the Aracoma Story, and we're going to talk to a couple of folks from that particular production in southern West Virginia when we come back right after this on the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
Are you looking for a technical job in the medical field? Generations is growing and looking to add on job-trained physical therapy techs to our rehab team. To apply, visit one of our 7 convenient locations or simply click on us at generationspt.com.
Red, white, and vroom! Gear up for incredible savings at Thornhill Ford Lincoln on the Thornhill Motor Mile. Hey, it's Sydney, and right now at Thornhill, you can drive home a new 2024 Ford Escape with 2.9% APR for up to 72 months, plus a $1,000 trade assist rebate. Shop online anytime at thornhillford.net or visit us on US 119 in Chapmanville. Discover why Thornhill Ford Lincoln is your ultimate destination for unbeatable deals and exceptional service on the road to total savings. This qualifies for all offers through Ford Financial for all details.
Welcome to Poca Valley, where we've been in business since 1908. Today, we serve Roane, Kanawha, Putnam, and surrounding counties. We believe you deserve banking that provides friendly customer service. For all of your financial needs, stop by one of our 8 convenient locations. Call us at 844-782-2651 or visit us online at PocaValleyBank.com. Poca Valley, where relationships matter.
Member FDIC.
Summer is almost here, and that means more motorcyclists enjoying West Virginia's country roads. When we're on the road, it's everyone's responsibility to keep each other safe. So, give motorcycles a full lane width. Check your blind spots and use your blinker when changing lanes. And allow more follow distance behind motorcycles because it takes them longer to stop. These simple rules will help keep everyone safe on the road. Share the road with motorcycles. This message is brought to you by the West Virginia Governor's Highway Safety Program.
Hello, it's Jim Strom for Face the World with Lisa. Lisa is a registered nurse specializing in cosmetic injectables of Botox and filler. She also has an IV therapy line to reboot your body. Lisa's procedures are non-surgical and minimally invasive, offering pleasing results to your face. She is currently offering a nice discount to new clients, and she's always running some sort of special. So call or text her 304-410-0202 and face the world with confidence.
20 minutes away from 10, the Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you part by your hometown baseball team, the Charleston Dirty Birds. In addition to Thirsty Thursday with $1 12-ounce beers and Bark in the Park tonight, you can also bring your dogs out, Gomar Ballpark, of course. And tonight is also Women Making a Difference night at the ballpark. For tickets, promotions, schedules, Dirty Birds gear, and more, visit dirtybirdsbaseball.com. Biggly Piggly Wiggly hotline 304-345-5858. Tony the Taylor text 304-935-5008. Text says, on the poll worker situation, 2 of my kids opened checking accounts with their election worker checks. Good stuff. You may or may not have heard of this, but in the heart of my original homeland of Logan County, there is an outdoor drama that's been going on for a number of years. It's called the Aracoma Story, and it's held at the amphitheater at Chief Logan State Park. It's really, literally over an hour. I mean, about an hour or so from downtown Charleston. Bruce Bays and Kayla Markham join us now. Both have been a part of the Aracoma Story for a number of years, and they're back this year. Guys, welcome to the show.
Hey,
Thank
Dave.
you for having us.
You guys are going to have to decide which one's going to talk first.
Kayla, you're first.
Kayla, I always put Kayla on first. She's the professional. I know it's a rich history with the Aracoma story, but either one of you, and maybe Bruce, we should defer to you because you've been around a little bit longer. Well, give us some of the history behind the Aracoma story.
This year, Dave, is our 50th anniversary. This has been the 50th consecutive run of the Aracoma Story Incorporated. It is nothing but wonderful. I wish everyone could see this, Dave. If we just had, I don't know, the media coverage or whatever we need to get people out to watch this, it would be great.
And it started, as I understand, if my memory serves me correctly, it actually started, I think, in the 1950s, and then it went away for a while, but then it came back, and this is the 50th anniversary, as you said, but the history goes beyond 50 years, right?
Oh, yes. I think it started in 1952.
It started as part of the centennial, as I remember, part of the centennial celebration of the city of Logan, and then they did it a couple of years, and it went away, but then it was, as you said, brought back 50 years ago. And it's just one of those things that people love it, and it's got to be, I would think, and either one of you can answer this, it's got to be one of the longest-running outdoor productions in the state of West Virginia. I mean, 50 years straight. Is that right?
That's right.
So Kayla, let's go to you. What is the basic premise of the production? What's the story of the Aracoma story?
Well, the Aracoma story is about the people who inhabited our land long before any of us were ever thought of being, long before the Declaration of Independence. And it is about a Native American woman who is stepping into being the leader of a new sect of the Shawnee Nation, and she happens to fall in love with a British soldier, and they come together and try to live in peace during a time that, America is fighting for its independence and becoming a country. You've got the French Indian War, you've got the American Revolution on the rise. So there's a rich, rich history there, but it's also a story that I think people can relate to on a personal level because it also shows the struggles of, a young woman falling in love, raising a family, going through tragedy, having to make decisions that will affect not only her life, but all of the people who depend on her. So it's there's a lot to take in, but it's something that is uniquely West Virginia history and uniquely Logan County history. And I think that it's something that everyone should know about. And of course, we try to wrap all of that up within a couple of hours, right? So
it's everything you ever wanted to know within an hour and a half, right?
Yeah, it's like a shortened West Virginia history course, but it's definitely, I think, an important story to be told, and that's why we've been telling it for more than 50 years.
We're talking about the Aracoma Story, one of West Virginia's longest-running outdoor productions, celebrating their 50th anniversary. And I will say this, Kayla and Bruce, maybe I may be a little biased since it is happening in my hometown, but it is truly one of the most beautiful places to see a production of any kind. I mean, you're maybe 2 or 3 miles up into the park, and when the sun starts to set, I mean, guys, you couldn't ask for a more beautiful setting.
That's true.
And
Absolutely.
people,
I think that it just pulls you into the story even more.
Yeah,
sure.
it does, because you start. What time does the production start nightly?
8:30.
Yeah,
8:30.
It starts at 8:30, and that's at this time of year, that's when you're starting to get the sun setting, and it's absolutely a beautiful setting. I will say this though, as somebody who spent a lot of time there, you might want to even bring a jacket because it does tend to get a little bit cooler up in that hollow there, or as we say down there, up in that holler, right?
Right. I always recommend bringing a jacket and bug spray.
Yes, jackets and bug spray. You can't go wrong with that. And people literally come from all over the country for this. They arrive by the busload for this, Bruce.
Yes, they do. We have a wide variety of people across the country coming in here, especially now that the trail system is in. We have a lot of fresh young people, out riding these trails coming in and watching the show.
And you two, I know, have been involved with this for quite some time through the years. Kayla, what do you individually, what do you get out of this?
I think there's several things. One, like I said before, it's an important story to be told. Two, if you are a little girl growing up in Logan County and you get involved in theater, which the Aracoma Story is the show that made me want to do theater. I just thought it was so beautiful. I was mesmerized by everything going on. And I remember auditioning for the first time, and I think they were doing Sound of Music as well. And they were like, "We want you to sing for this show." And I was like, "No, I don't want to do that. I want to be in the Aracoma Story."
You want to do the other one. You want to do the other one.
And they were like, "You don't want to be a Von Trapp kid?" I was like, "No, I want to be in the Aracoma Story."
I want to be Princess Aracoma. Bruce, what do you get out of it? I know you've been involved with it for a long time, buddy. What do you get out of this?
Dave, let me tell you a small story. I kind of had my ex-mother-in-law there force me into watching the Aracoma Story. She got tickets. She was the manager of the Aracoma Story at the time.
Uh-huh.
And I come from the holler, like you said, and wasn't used to anything like that. I watched it for the first time, and I was mesmerized. At that point in my life, I made a decision to do that. And I wish everyone could watch it. Biggest part of them would make that decision, too.
So there have been some changes over the years from time to time, because a lot of times people say, well, I saw it last year, but that's one of the things I kind of like about this, that there's been subtle changes over the story over the year. Nothing major, but just little changes to kind of freshen it up this year. What are the dates of the performances, Kayla?
We actually open tonight, July 25th through the 28th, August 1st through 4th, and then the 8th through the 11th.
And talk about tickets. Are they available online? You just get them at the box office? What do you do?
You can call ahead to the Aracoma Story office, 304-752-0253, or you can get them right there at the gate. I'm not sure if we can get them anywhere else. Bruce, that would be a you question.
I think Aracoma Drug in Chapmanville, you can get them there. But you can also get group rates, too. If you bring several, call in, they will give you group rates on that.
And people do. I mean, I've seen it in the past, man. I mean, they'll bring church buses down. They'll bring tour. I mean, literally, this is something that goes all over the country. I did not realize when we set the interview up that this was the 50th anniversary of the 50 straight years you guys have been doing this. It's something I think that the area and the entire state of West Virginia should be proud of. Kayla Markham and Bruce Basin of the Aracoma Story. Go check it out at Chief Logan State Park. Again, you're only about an hour or so from downtown Charleston, one of the most beautiful settings in the state, at the Liz Spurlock Amphitheater at Chief Logan State Park. Best of luck with everything. Break a leg, as they say, on opening night. We'll talk again soon, guys. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Dave.
The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live is brought to you in part by Husson's Pizza. This month at your favorite Husson's, order any regularly priced large 18-inch pizza and get a 2-liter Pepsi at no additional charge. We'll take a break. Back after this on the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
Brought to you by the Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses. Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses care for your family.
Red, white, and vroom! Gear up for incredible savings at Thornhill Ford Lincoln on the Thornhill Motor Mile. Hey, it's Sydney, and right now at Thornhill, you can drive home a new 2024 Ford Escape with 2.9% APR for up to 72 months, plus a $1,000 trade assist rebate. Shop online anytime at thornhillford.net or visit us on US 119 in Chapmanville. Discover why Thornhill Ford Lincoln is your ultimate destination for unbeatable deals and exceptional service on the road to total savings. This qualify for all offers through Ford Financial. See Thornhill for all details.
Bigley Piggly Wiggly on Spring Street has served 3 generations of shoppers since 1955 as the largest locally owned independent grocery store in the area. The Joseph family owners grew up here, so you know they're invested in the community. They provide the biggest variety of choice meats, the freshest produce, an in-house deli bakery, great wine selection, and more of your favorite brands. Every purchase gives you gasoline points so you can save at our pumps. Order online for pickup at BigleyPigglyWiggly.com. Bigley Piggly Wiggly on Spring Street. No one beats the pig.
According to USA Today, 1 in 7 children in West Virginia face food insecurity issues. Hi, I'm Jason Quintrell, President and CEO of Union Mission Ministries. There are some obstacles our children face with access to food despite many feeding programs available. That is why Union Mission has partnered with some local middle schools to place food directly into the hands of children who need it. Help us remove those obstacles and help feed our kids. Visit unionmission.com to learn more.
West Virginia starts its day with the morning news.
Benjamin Netanyahu with straightforward remarks during his speech before a joint session of Congress Wednesday. Netanyahu pushing back on the notion that Israel's forces are intentionally putting Gazan civilians in harm's way.
For Israel, every civilian death is a tragedy. For Hamas, it's a strategy.
They actually want Palestinian civilians to die.
The Morning News, weekday mornings beginning at 5 on the Voice of Charleston, 580 WCHS.
$9:52, the Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you in part by Morgan & Morgan. With more than $20 billion recovered, they believe that when you're injured, you deserve more. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. The Anthony Train. The A Train, Anthony Harbin, serving as our producer today. Bigly, Piggly, Wiggly, hotline 304-345-5858. Tony the Taylor, text 304-935-5008. Text says, Dave, President Joe Biden did the total right thing. He recognized the situation, finally accepted he has declined, couldn't keep up with the campaign, let alone a second term, and passed the torch to the next generation by stepping aside for the good of his party and the nation. Republicans are just angry and jealous, and Uncle Donnie won't do the same thing, says a texter. Texter says, is there a handicap seating available at the Aracoma Story? There is indeed. I am pretty sure that there is, right in front. Yes, there is handicap seating available. Hoppy coming up with Talkline at 10:06. Hoppy's been spending a lot of time talking about the homeless issues lately, something we all know about too well here in Charleston. Morgantown has a real issue with it, as does Parkersburg. Parkersburg Mayor Tom Joyce is going to join Hoppy to discuss what they've done in his city. Plus, mentioned earlier for the first time in a long time, there are now, maybe ever, there are now more Republicans than Democrats in Kanawha County. Fayette County has also flipped to a red county. On Hoppy today, State GOP Chair Matt Herridge will be joining Hoppy to discuss. Plus, Senate Finance Chair Eric Tarr and more coming up. 10:06, talk line from the Encova Insurance Studios in the Dale Miller Building in Morgantown. Coming up on tomorrow's show here, she did such a good job last week, I invited her back this week as my co-host, mainly because it's Friday and I'm going to make her do all the work. Morgan Robinson is going to be here tomorrow. We're also going to be joined, as we are each Friday, by Hannah Gardner from the Kanawha Charleston Humane Association with this week's Adopt Me Please Pet of the Week, plus Jim Strawn talking live on the levee. And my man Joe Kerner, JK the DJ, is going to be stopping by. Retrofest is going on in downtown Charleston this week. We'll talk to JK about that. So as I mentioned yesterday, the situation with the Tyler Mountain Volunteer Fire Department, it's been going on for some time. Another public meeting scheduled to be held tonight at the fire department at 7 o'clock. So if you live or work in that area, you may want to plan on attending. Now, they had a mass exodus from the department not long ago, and I'm told that some of the staff did return. What will happen next, I guess we'll find out tomorrow at the, or tonight, rather, I should say, at the meeting, which begins at 7 o'clock. Mentioned this earlier. Actually, I've mentioned it 3 times now. 2 more counties in West Virginia have flipped from blue to red. And for the first time in a long time, and again, I don't know the statistics. I'm sure Matt Herridge, the state GOP party chair, is going to be on with Hoppy around 10:30, I think, or so this morning. Matt will know that. Both Kanawha County and Fayette County now have majority Republican voters as opposed to Democrats. You heard that right. There are now more registered Republican voters in Kanawha County than there are Democrat voters. And that is significant, folks. That is huge, in my opinion. And I'm not taking sides either way. I am just saying that is a monumental deal, that in Kanawha County there are now more Republicans than Democrats. It is simply not a good time for the Democratic Party in West Virginia. And I'm going to tell you, folks, it is not going to change anytime soon. I'm not going to say never, but it's not going to change anytime soon. This red wave is going to continue throughout West Virginia. And if you think it's going to change, whether Trump is elected or Trump is not elected, it's not. This goes well beyond. This has been coming for some time. It's actually been coming before Trump. And under Trump, it is definitely going to continue. But even when Trump is gone, it's going to continue. It's going to keep going. Did you happen to see the video of the Netanyahu appearance in front of a joint session of Congress yesterday? Several Democratic leaders opted not to be a part of it. Among those, Vice President and presumptive nominee for president, Vice President Kamala Harris. However, I just saw a news flash that both Biden and Harris are going to meet with Netanyahu today. If you saw the video that I saw that broke late yesterday afternoon of the protest in D.C., look, protests are one thing, okay? I'm all about protest. If you want to protest, that's fine. But when it comes to what we witnessed yesterday with the burning of the flags and the graffiti on the statues and whatnot there. That goes above and beyond. That's just out of control. But yeah, it just broke here that President Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris will meet with Benjamin Netanyahu today. Biggly Piggly Wiggly hotline 304-345-5858. Tony the Taylor text 304-935-5008. Well, the governor is due to. Well, I was going to say he's going to meet the press today, but it'll be meeting computers or phones. He has a virtual meeting with the press today starting at noon. Brad has the lead story posted about it at WVMetroNews.com. He is going to be asked about, and he's not going to be happy about it, but he's going to be asked about these impending suits, meaning two, against the state that could possibly hold Randall Reed Smith, the Secretary for Arts and all that goes along with that, personally responsible in the baby dog murals scandal. Again, folks, this story is not about a dog in a painting. It is about the process of which the whole thing came about. And he's also sure to be asked about the Mark Scott resignation. Side note, Hoppy writes about the Scott resignation as part of his commentary today. You can read that at WVMetroNews.com. The story, folks, is going to be a big one. It's going to be a big story, and there's going to be a whole lot more layers to it. I will close with this on the parking garage situation at the town center. Published reports, among those in this morning's Gazette Mail, say this morning that the owner of the Marriott bought one of the town center parking garages for $800,000. Now, this is the Washington Street East garage, has around 520 or so spaces. The Marriott's parent company is Infinity Hotels out of New Jersey. All right, let me see. Dang, Dave, isn't the state Democratic Party chair Mike Pushkin from Kanawha County? Yes, indeed. He is from Kanawha County. and look, and you know, the thing, one of the things I do like about Pushkin, and Mike and I have become friends since doing this show. We don't always agree, but we have become friends since doing this show, is that he is one that realizes the problems with the Democratic Party in West Virginia, or at least the image of, now he would say the image of the Democratic Party and the perception of the Democratic Party. I'd say it probably, I would say it probably goes a little bit above and beyond that. But as I said, it's not going to change, folks, anytime soon. It is absolutely not going to change anytime soon. This red wave in West Virginia is going to continue, like it or not, for some time. And that's not a preference of mine. It's not something I want to happen, not want to happen. I'm just saying it ain't going anywhere for a long, long time. All right, coming up on the show tomorrow, Morgan Robinson will be here. Hannah Gardner from the Kanawha Charleston Humane Association with this week's Adopt Me Please Pet of the Week. Jim Straw talking live on the levee, and JK the DJ talking about Retrofest Saturday in Charleston. If you haven't done so already, download the all-new Metro News TV app. Gotta go. I will see you tomorrow. Till then, have fun and love somebody.